among the settlers of Gilead confronted Ahab. As sure as God lives, the God of Israel, before whom I stand in obedient service, the next years are going to see a total drought. Not a drought of dew or rain, unless I say otherwise. God told Elijah, get out of here and fast. Head east and hide out at the Kerith ravine on the other side of the Jordan River. You can drink fresh water from the brook. I've ordered the ravens to feed you. Elijah obeyed God's orders. He went and camped in the Kerith canyon on the other side of the Jordan. And sure enough, ravens brought him his meals, both breakfast and supper, and he drank from the brook. Eventually, the brook dried up because of the drought. Then God spoke to him, get up and go to Zarephath in Sidon and live there. I've instructed a woman who lives there, a widow, to feed you. So he got up and went to Zarephath. As he came to the entrance of the village, he met a woman, a widow, gathering firewood. He asked her, please, would you bring me a little water in a jug? I need a drink. And she went to get it. As she left, he called out, and while you're at it, would you bring me something to eat? She said, I swear, as surely as your God lives, I don't have so much as a biscuit. I have a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a bottle. You found me scratching together just enough firewood to make a last meal for my son and me. After we eat it, we'll die. Elijah said to her, don't worry about a thing. Go ahead and do what you said. But first, make a small biscuit for me and bring it back here. Then go ahead and make a meal from what's left for you and your son. This is the word of God of Israel. The jar of flour will not run out, and the bottle of oil will not become empty before God sends rain on the land and ends this drought. And she went right off and did just as Elijah asked. And it turned out as he said, daily food for her and her family. The jar of meal did run out, and the bottle of oil did become empty. God's promise fulfilled to the letter, exactly as Elijah had delivered. At the time of our story, and this is when I need for you all to act out whatever it is that I say. I need the widow. Jezebel. As our story, at the time of our story, Ahab was the king of Israel. Ahab married Jezebel, a beautiful princess from the land of Sidon. Together they went around giving half fives to everyone they saw and doing Elvis impersonations. reality, Ahab was more evil than any of the kings before him. He and Jezebel bowed in worship of a false god called Baal. They built a temple and altar for Baal and were cruel and unfair. God wanted to get a message to Ahab and Jezebel about how angry he was with them. So he sent a rugged old guy named Elijah to talk to them. Elijah gave Ahab and Jezebel hugs and patted them on their backs. He told them that God didn't really care about what they were doing. Wait a minute. Hold up. That's not right. Rewind. The truth is, Elijah said, as surely as the Lord, the God of Israel, lives, the God I serve, there will be no dew or rain during the next few years until I get the word. And then God sent Elijah into hiding. Time went by, and Elijah had a great time in hiding. Having just a wonderful time in hiding. He waved to his friends. He practiced disco steps. And ate ice cream for every meal. Wait a minute. Hold up. Rewind. Times were hard, and food became scarce. God provided for Elijah in creative ways, and eventually sent him to the village of Zarephath, which is near the city of Sidon. Of course, which is the hometown of Jezebel. Yes, God hid Elijah in Jezebel's own backyard. So it certainly wasn't a part of town where everyone believed in God. And in this little village, Elijah met a carefree young woman. Who slid around, picking berries, and blowing kisses. We know that's not right. In reality, he met a widow who was gathering sticks. He asked her for a cup of water. And as she went to get it, he called after her, "Bring me a bite of bread too." So she whipped out her Rachel Ray cookbook and started stirring up some yummy cake. She licked her fingers as she made the icing. Stop the presses. You know that's not right. But in our reality, the truth of the matter is, she said, "I swear to you, by the Lord your God, that I don't have a single piece of bread in the house. And I have only a handful of flour left in a jar and a little cooking oil and use what was left to make a meal for herself and her son. And if she did, there would always be flour and oil left in her potatoes until the rain came again. She did as Elijah asked, and there continued to be flour and oil, just as God had promised through Elijah.